2 years ago, Jimbo Fisher told the Houston Touchdown Club that Texas A&M would, quote, beat Nick Saban's ass. Now, this time, in the same location, it was Brian Kelly that was feeling a bit chesty about his Bayou Bengals. November 4th was always going to be a huge day for the 2023 college football season, but after Brian Kelly's comments at the Houston Touchdown Club, it does ratchet up the temperature a little bit on LSU's visit to Bryant Denny Stadium that afternoon. Brent Zwerneman, who covers at Texas A&M and more for the Houston Chronicle, also known as the guy who is known for breaking the Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC story. He was in attendance for Kelly's appearance at the Houston Touchdown Club, and he tweeted some of what the LSU coach said to the Pro Tigers crowd. Kelly was asked by a fan what he thinks about Texas and Oklahoma entering the SEC in 2024. He said, Greg Sankey is paid way more than me to make those decisions, which is pretty funny because Sankey doesn't make near what Brian Kelly makes. He talked about the importance of recruiting in Houston. Quote, it's pretty well documented that our best defensive player is from this area. But what really caught everyone's attention was BK saying, I love the environment of a college stadium. I love coming out on that field. I love beating Alabama. And, of course, the crowd erupted. After beating Alabama in 2019, Ed Orgeron was filmed telling his team, we're going to beat their ass in recruiting. We're going to beat their ass every time they see us. Roll Tide. What? F you. Everyone immediately knew that Nick Saban was going to have the next matchup circled. Like before the next season's game in Baton Rouge, Saban was on the field and he told CBS, LSU beat us last year, so they probably have some confidence that they can play well against Alabama. We're going to have to change the way they think when it comes to that as well. Alabama ended up winning the game 55-17. Now, I am not naive enough to think that Alabama's going to put that kind of beating on Kelly's Tigers. That Orgeron team was really not good, and that Alabama team was a different level. I'm also not naive enough to view this as actual disrespect or a real slight to the Tide, right? LSU beat Alabama last year in Baton Rouge in an absolutely incredible football game. They deserve to celebrate it. Since 1981, LSU was only 4-17-1 at home against Alabama. It doesn't happen often. Since the game of the century, number 1 versus number 2 back in 2011 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama is now 10-2 against LSU after last season's game. So again, it hasn't happened much. But man, there's been an awful lot of people giving Saban and the Tide some bulletin board material since last season ended, and Brian Kelly is just the latest. Like I'm excited to see what goes down in November on this one. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.